Okay, so today we're going to be creating an opt-in form with the Elementor page builder plugin and your ConvertKit account. So right now I am on a WordPress website that already has Elementor installed, and I'm using one of the starter templates from Elementor that already has an opt-in that we can just customize. You can also make an opt-in form using the Elementor form module. And I'm just going to scroll the page to show you what that looks like. All right, so as you can see here to the bottom of the page, we have an opt-in form, so you can, put in your email address and subscribe. But the issue is that it needs to be connected to an email list or your ConvertKit account in order for the emails entered here to go to your ConvertKit account. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now, this particular form is inside of the footer on the page. So I'm actually going to use the footer to edit this form. All right, so as you can see, we are here. So this is just text, and this is actually a form module that's already set up here. So one thing I like to do with my signups, I like to get a first name. So I'm just going to add an item here. And that could be a text field, and we want to give it a name, so first name. Also going to put my placeholder, want to make that required. And we want to make that 100%. Now, something that you can do, you can adjust how you want this to look. So it can be 50%, and the email can also be 50%. And that will make these forms be, or make these fields side by side. And you may want to switch up the order on this. So you want the first name to be first and then the email address. But I'm going to change this back to 100%. I'm also going to change this to 100% on the email itself. Now, before we go any further, let's go ahead and go over to ConvertKit. So once you're inside of your ConvertKit account, you want to go over to your Grow, and you want to go to Landing Pages and Forms. Once you click on Landing Pages and Forms, you're going to be led over to this page. Now, it depends if you already have forms set up. If not, we're just going to create a form, and we're just going to walk through that step by step. So let's go ahead and create a new form. And I click on form, and I just like to use, the inline, I believe. Very simple. I use Declare because it's very simple, because we're not really using this form itself. We're just going to be using the information from the form. So I want to add another field by using that plus sign. Then I'm going to bring this over, and I want this custom field to be the first name. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. Now you may also want to click on settings in case you want to just set up a few things. We'll just run through really quickly. So when someone submits this form, this actual form itself, it will show success. Now check your email to confirm your subscription. We can actually use that in our form as well, but I will come back to that. Domain name, this most likely will not apply to what you're doing with the Elementor. This is more so if you were creating the form to live on ConvertKit, but now this form is actually living on your WordPress site with the Elementor form plugin, or the form module, I should say. And then the incentive emails. So ConvertKit, they do recommend not auto-confirming new subscribers. So you want to send them some type of email so that way they can click and confirm they want to be on the email list. And so usually ConvertKit already has something in here for you. Now, another thing that you can do is you can also include a lead magnet, for example. So if you were to be here and you wanted to send over maybe 10 tips to help your baby sleep at night, then you can also set up an opt-in where you deliver your lead magnet as a part of it. So they would still have to click on the confirm your subscription. But if you wanted to include some type of lead magnet, you can always remove this URL here, and you can put the link to like a Google Drive link or a Dropbox link, or you can just upload the file from your computer if you wanted to deliver that after they click on the confirm your subscription. Now in here, you want to make sure if you are including any type of lead magnet in there, you want to make sure you let them know like, hey, after you click this confirm your subscription button, you will be taken to a page to download, or your lead magnet is going to, or you're going to be redirected to your lead magnet, I should say. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and get this published. That looks great. Now, another thing that you may want to add to your form, something I like to do with all of my forms, is go over to your subscribers, and you may want to create a tag for anyone that signs up for this this list, for example. So when you go over to your subscribers, over here on the right hand side, you'll see create a tag, and I'm just going to put Claire form, and you'll see the reasoning behind all of this in just a moment. So let's go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to also go over to my settings, and I want to go over to advanced, and I want to grab my API keys. So you have your API key and you have your API secret. So let's go back over to WordPress and the Elementor form. So as you can see, we added the first name, we have the email address. Now, in order for all of this to talk to each other, for Elementor to communicate with ConvertKit, and for whoever enters the information to be put on your ConvertKit list, now you want to go over to actions after submit. And right now it's set to collect submissions and send out an email. You can keep those if you want, collect submissions if you want anyone that enters their email address and their first name to be logged into your website. This is a good backup just in case something happens with your site. I would say keep that there. The email probably not necessary. You probably don't want to send anything, email follow-up, since ConvertKit is going to handle that for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out of that and remove it. But I do want to add on the ConvertKit. Okay, so now what you need to do is a new tab is going to appear for ConvertKit. Go ahead and click on it. And you need to enter the API key. So right now it's set under default. Now default will only work if you have entered your ConvertKit API key in the main Elementor settings. If you have not, you don't have to go all the way back. You can actually put in custom, and you can copy that API key directly to this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy the API key over from ConvertKit that I just showed you. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, and now that the API key is copied over from ConvertKit, it's going to go ahead and bring up all of my lists in ConvertKit. So you can see the Claire form that I just created is there. And then it also asks you to go ahead and start mapping your fields out. So you want to make sure the email address is set here, and then the first name will be here. And if you want to add any tags, so that way you know where the sign up is coming from, my Claire form tag should be here as well. Okay, and then the last thing, if you want to add any type of message or any type of custom message letting your subscriber know like, hey, we received your submission, then you can go ahead and click on yes and say this form was sent successfully. What I like to do is just go back over to ConvertKit because they already had some nice wording that we can use there. So I'm going to go to the Claire form. I'm going to go back over to the settings. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy this success. Now you'll check your email to confirm your subscription. And I'm going to copy that message here. So that way, when someone submits the form, this message is going to come up letting them know that they need to check their email address. All right, and that's all that's to it. So now you know how to create a Elementor form that connects to your ConvertKit account. So that way you can start collecting email addresses and building your email list.